Intelligence. I'm Intox along with
BDot, baby.
Hey, let's get it, bro.
Welcome to the motherfucking show. Awkward Intelligence, episode 113. And once again, you can see BDot didn't make it today. Another, life sometimes happens. Different things are going on. People are helping people move. You know how it works. But, so I'm back at it. Intox, in your mouth, in your face. Here we go. Back in this motherfucker. Episode 113. Can you believe Jesus. We are up there. We are working it. And, the thing that some people have told me over the last few episodes is that, where are we getting our information? I'm reading books, I'm watching podcasts, I'm listening to different things, I'm cross-referencing. I got Telegram. I check out Telegram, which we're going to go over as well. Cross-reference Twitter. We're going to do some Twitter fishing today. I'm going to actually show you. Last week, we talked about how Twitter's a fucking cesspool, right? And so this week, I'm going to kind of go through a couple things and just kind of show you what's really going on. But the biggest news that we want to get into is the Trump administration, right? They're slashing and crashing like we're talking about. They're taking shit down. They're fucking doing all kinds of things, right? So one of the biggest situations they've got is USAID. Y'all heard about this? The United States Agency for International Development. Have y'all heard about this? I don't know if y'all have heard about this, but this is in the news, right? They froze the accounts. They locked people out of the buildings. They're going crazy with this shit, right? But here's the thing: the United States Agency for International Development is an independent agency of the United States government. Independent agency. Remember that, right? It's not elected. It's not selected. It's not put together. It's an independent agency that is primarily responsible for administrating civilian foreign aid and development assistance with a budget of over $50 billion. That's probably more than that. That's the budget they tell us about, right? So USAID is one of the largest official aid agencies in the world and accounts for more than half of all U.S. foreign assistance. The highest in the world in absolute dollar terms, right? USAID has missions in over 100 countries, primarily in Africa, Asia, Latin America, Middle East, and Eastern Europe. That's fucking everywhere, folks. They have missions in everywhere, all over the globe or the realm or the flat earth or whatever you want to call it, right? So here's the thing. So they froze the accounts, they locked people out, they shut this shit down, and then what did they start finding? I posted something on my Instagram the other day, the ppeintox on Instagram, and I posted something and it said, they found the devil's purse. The CIA slush fund. They found it. Here it is, folks. Everywhere. They're talking about they were paying for K-cups, those coffee K-cups. They were paying like $1,280 per cup. Where the fuck's all this money going? That's where your money's going. Everybody knew that there was fraud, waste, and abuse happening in the government. I mean, I was in the military for 6 years. I seen it. You know what I mean? I got my own stories. Matter of fact, let's get into one. So back in 98 to 2000, I was in Japan, right? I was stationed in Japan. And you can look all this stuff up. I got a DD-214 just like anybody else, right? So true stories, right? True stories. Here we go. Intox's true stories. But anyway, so I'm in Japan. And I think I'm a specialist at the time. And I showed up as a private, and I made it to a specialist before I left. In the Army, it's pretty easy to do that. Within 2 years of joining, you're pretty much a specialist, and you're on your way. pretty easy now. I don't know about nowadays, but back then it was pretty easy. But anyways, so one day we're having to clean up the shop. We have, building and full of different, equipment and things, storage and, whatever we need. All our stuff is there. It's available. And so we're going through, we're going to get, I think one of our generals is coming through. And they're going to do, come and inspect everything per se, right? So when they do these things, what they do is they set us up with different things. So like I was, at the time, I was 25 Romeo, which was audiovisual repair. And over there, I was working on cable systems. We were doing cable systems and, just basic electronic stuff, you know what I mean? Like dealing with just basic stuff that if stuff broke, we'd check it out. We'd look into it. And we didn't really replace anything but boards. So if it was bad, we just kind of tossed it and bought a new one. But that's not even where I'm going with this. But that by itself, right? Just throw it away and buy another one, right? So anyways, during this inspection, we found in our storage area and stuff like that, we found a bunch of equipment that was so old that we weren't even using it anymore. We had moved to the digital age at this point in the military. We weren't using very much, analog stuff. And so what we found was these tapes. I think they were, it was like almost like some VHS shit, right? Where we found thousands of tapes stacked in boxes and put in all these, in our warehouse. And it was more stuff than that, but it was mainly this stuff, right? And so it wasn't on the books. It wasn't accounted for per se, but it was equipment and it was things that we had, that were part of it. So anyways, so what it came down to was we got to get rid of this stuff because if it's not on the books and they inspect it and they look for it and they see this, they're going to go, where'd this come from? All kinds of questions come up, right? Even though it was there long before we got there, nobody fucking knows what's going on. So one of my NCOs said, what we need to do is we need to get rid of this stuff. And so we went over to our garbage can and we dumped a few things in there. It filled it up pretty fucking quick and there was a lot left. So the best solution was to find more trash cans and to just dump it and get rid of it. So we loaded up a couple of vehicles, drove around the base, found a couple trash cans, dumped it. See you later. Here I am. So many years later, right? And so that's one little instance in the military. But you got to think that that's going on everywhere. Every base, all the time, something's happening along those lines, right? Somebody's doing something. So that's just one small case of fraud, waste, and abuse. We know it's happening. We know it happens. There's things, we tried our best to do our best. At least the people that want to do the right thing, we try our best to do the best, But sometimes little things like that fall through the cracks, and that's a small thing in the whole ocean of bullshit, right? But if you can see how people who are trying to do the right thing, because the right thing in that moment it was just tapes. Get rid of it, trash it. It's gone. We can't do nothing with it. We can't repurpose it. We can't send it to the people because a lot of that stuff gets repurposed and people can go buy it at military auctions and things like that. So you know what I mean? So the people get to get it for cheap prices, a lot of different things. But that stuff wasn't part of it. But so you can see how really easily and quickly that stuff can get out of hand, right? But we're talking about USAID, who has nothing to do military-wise with government and has no real oversight because it's an independent agency of the United States government, right? Nowadays they're calling them NGOs, which is a non-government organization. That's what they're calling them nowadays. So if you hear the term NGO as people are talking, that's what they're talking about, a non-government organization. And USAID is one of those. And so they're just funneling money. Here's the thing. It's a CIA slush fund. The CIA has to ask for congressional approval for a lot of different things, especially doing things in other countries, right? But the way they get through all that is through an organization like USAID. They're able to use that organization and the cover of that organization to sneak so much money out of you, the taxpayers, and you should be angry. You should be very fucking angry that they've stolen so much money over the years. That $50 billion budget that they say they have, it's probably double, triple, 3 times, 4 times that thing. You know, it's probably so outrageous we don't even know because we don't even really know what they're spending. And the other part that kind of clings to this and comes together with this is Elon took over the Treasury system and started looking into the spending affairs of the Treasury. A lot of people aren't happy about that, you know, and it's like, oh my God, this private citizen now has access to all our stuff. I get it. People are screaming, they're crying. We'll probably see some of that on the Twitter fishing we do here in a little bit. But the thing is what he uncovered is that the paymasters, whoever they are, never once in the history of the Treasury stopped funding going to certain places or to certain organizations, which are either fraudulent or are terrorist organizations or all kinds of different things like that, right? So as we dig into this shit even more, it just gets fucking deeper and deeper. Well, here's the thing, though. We already knew all this stuff was happening. That's where we're really at. We already knew all this stuff was happening. Now we're actually finding out who's involved, what's going on, how they were doing it by using these NGOs, right? So that's where we're at. And so, you know what I mean? I just want to start the show off with that just for, you know, that's the biggest shit that's going on. This is where you should be really angry. This is how angry you should be, is because instead of bringing that money back to us the way it was supposed to work, the way, you know, all of us out here struggling, we can't fucking barely buy eggs, you know. They keep always talking about eggs. But, you know, we just can't afford the basic things because they've been siphoning our fucking money out to all these other bullshit fucking activities around the world and not telling us about it. And so that's why I wanted to bring that up first off and just say, this is where we are, folks. These are the things we've been saying, but nobody was giving us access. And, you know, the government is supposed to work for us, right? We're supposed to know everything about them, and we're private citizens. They don't know anything about us. That's how it's supposed to work. But they flipped it on us. They flipped it on us, and they got it to where we know nothing about what they're doing. And they're surveying us all fucking day, every day, all day, right? Laptops, everything. Anything that's got a digital signature that could touch the internet or whatever is monitoring. We've already talked about this. That's a monitoring device. So they're monitoring us. But the thing is like we talked about, what they didn't see coming was now that everything's monitoring us, that means it's also monitoring them. And that's how we're finding out about all this shit. That's how we're finding out that they're using AI to get into your bank accounts without your approval, without you even knowing at this point. That's why you see people online every now and again who are, oh, my bank account was cleared out. I lost all my money. I don't know where it went. You know, I'm talking to my bank trying to figure it out. Because the CIA got in there and got their hands on it. So this is how crazy, but that's the thing, right? So because we're monitoring them, we know what's happening now. We know who's doing it. All we have to do is have access to that system and we can show you exactly what's going on. And that's what they're doing. You know what I mean? We're only 2 weeks into this new presidency, and look how much we've figured out already. What the fuck was the Biden administration really doing? Because they weren't finding any of this shit. They were hiding it. They were running from it. They were pulling as much money out of you as they could before they ran and hightailed it out of here, which is what they did, because when's the last time you've seen anybody from that administration? Where's Biden at? Where's Kamala at? Where are they at? You don't see these people anymore. They're nowhere to be found. So, you know what I mean? But let's get into it. let's get into it, folks. Let's go on X, and I'm going to show y'all how much of a cesspool this place is. And so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. So you got, let's scroll it. Let's see. Now it's just going to be calling me a liar. Let's see if we can find one where they just say some crazy ass shit and then everybody in the comments just fucking blasts them. Okay. Here's one. Here's Elizabeth Warren. I called on Secretary Bessent to answer why and how he gave Elon Musk and his cronies permission to access government payment systems. The response back raises more questions than answers. Now, if you were a Democrat and you were just following and reading that, it sounds crazy, right? Giving them access? But then we got to go in and start looking at what people are saying. And then someone goes, it's called an audit, Liz. And boy, did Democrats fail it spectacularly. USAID is more like a crime scene and not a viable government agency. So you see what I'm saying? People are in here talking that shit. You might want to sit this one out. Maybe you should just resign and go away and enjoy a little free time. This is talking back to Elizabeth Warren, the person that started this post, right? I believe you will probably be arrested and spent the rest of your life in prison, so you guys will enjoy what time you have left. And that's it. They don't have any time left. Their time's fucking up. The people who hired 85,000 new IRS agents to come after you are really concerned someone may look at how they're spending your tax dollars. You see what I'm saying? It's called an audit. I'm sure you're familiar with those. You will get the information when it's completed, just like the American taxpayers. Not sure why this is so confusing. They're just panicking. They're fucking panicking in D.C. because all their shit's getting exposed. It says, boy, the government sure doesn't like it when the American people audit them, do they? Keep it up. America's behind you and cheering you the whole way. You see what I'm saying? It's time to see where the fuck our buddy's going. So there's one, right? There's one. Let's see here. Let's see. Tucker says, Tucker Carlson News. I don't know if this is, it's got the check mark near it. Breaking. Bill Gates says he will leave the USA if the Epstein client list is released. What's your reaction? And then let's see. Release the list. Release the list. Everybody's just going, release the list. Arrest them, release the list. It's a whole bunch of shit, right? So you got that, right? Let's see here. Let's see if we can find something else that... This is the kind of shit that I be telling y'all. Roseanne Barr says the USAID scandal is the final nail in the Democrat coffin. Ouch. Let's see. Dean Withers, I don't know who this is, but Dean Withers, the president of the United States of America, just called for ethnic cleansing. Regardless of your political affiliation, this is indefensible. Once again, right? We read the headline. Sounds crazy. Sounds like, oh shit, no he didn't. And then people in the comments will explain it. Let's see. It says, please, dude, I don't want our government to take over Gaza, but this is not at all what he said. If anything, it will save what is left from Israel. Right. So I guess this is talking about the whole Gaza thing. He says he's going to buy Gaza and do different things with it or whatever. So it's people responding to somebody who said that he called for ethnic cleansing or whatever, right? But see how they throw a headline out there? That's the point. They throw a headline out there. He's calling for ethnic cleansing. It sounds fucked up. Makes you want to click on it, makes you want to check it out. But when you check the comments, everybody starts explaining exactly what's going on. Let's see. However atrocious and unjust the Trump Gaza plan might be, it brings peace. Live to love another day. Kenny Rogers. Know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away, know when to run, right? It is Palestine that refuses to live in peace with neighbors. The world is sick of it. Enough is enough. Live in peace or don't cry when the people you attack defend themselves and retaliate. Just trying to bring peace to the world. Sounds like a pretty amazing deal. They get resettled in a country that is functioning and with substantial housing, and after Gaza is reconstructed, they can return if they so choose. See, it's just you're just being logical about the scenarios. We're not freaking out. We're not panicking. We're not going, oh my God, he just called for ethnic cleansing the way the fucking headline shows it. You know what I mean? Like you got to look into it and see what's really going on here. What's the goal? Because you got to remember, if you've got people screaming about headlines, what's going on here? Oh my God, look at this. Look what they're doing. What do you think they're doing? They're kicking and screaming like a fucking toddler. Why is that? Why do adults do that? Because they're probably fucking hiding something. That's why. Because if you could just have a civil conversation about it and go, wait a minute, what does this really mean? Where did you come from? You are barely in puberty and you can claim to understand geopolitics? Boy, sit down and learn something. Rebuilding Gaza shows a hurting people that they don't have to depend on terrorists like Hamas. It also helps Israel feel more secure. Oh, shit. Show more. That's a lot. If the tunnels are not being built when Gaza is. The same people who live there now will continue to live there, and hopefully they will stop being human shields for Hamas terrorists. So it's just people, throwing their opinions out there, but they're being logical. They're not just going, oh my God, look at this, look at that. So you know what I mean? Let's try something else. Daniel Goldman. There is no way that Trump is approving everything that Musk is doing. Trump has effectively turned over the federal government to an unelected billionaire who spent $250 million to get him elected. Make no mistake, Elon Musk owns Donald Trump and is calling the shots. Okay? Sounds crazy, right? And you're going, okay, fuck. But what did we just say? USAID is an independent agency. They're not elected either. But they're running all kinds of foreign shit across the country, across the world, for us, through us, acting as us. Nobody elected these fucks. You see what I'm saying? So it's just a bunch of, instead of a democracy, right? The Democrats keep saying we got to save democracy. What they're really saying is they want to save their bureaucracy. Did I say that right? They want to save bureaucracy. I can't fucking say that word. Bureaucracy. They got to save your bureaucracy. I'm fucking all over the place with this fucking word. Let's look this up. Bureaucratic. Let's see. Let's see. Bureaucratic refers to a system or organization characterized by complex rules, procedures, and strict adherence to hierarchical. I can't fucking talk today, folks. Hierarchical structures. It often entails formalized decision-making process, division of labor, and authority assigned to specific roles or positions. Bureaucratic systems can be arbitrary and routine. They can also be rigid, complex, strict, stringent, and uncompromising. So that's bureaucratic. But how do you, let's see, bureaucracy. See, there it is. Let's get bureaucracy. A system of government in which most of the important decisions are made by state officials rather than elected representatives. Here, let's see. Let's see what oh, we're still playing music in the background. Nice. Okay. Let's see. I think this will say it on here too. Hold on. Check it out.
Bureaucracy.
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 Bureaucracy. Now we can fucking say it, right? A system of government in which most of the important decisions are made by state officials rather than elected representatives. That's what USAID was. A state or organization governed or managed as a bureaucracy. The officials in a bureaucracy considered as a group of hierarchy. See what I'm saying? See how this all starts to fucking make sense now? So it's not democracy they were trying to save. That's the word they were saying. But what they were meaning was bureaucracy. They want to save their bureaucracy, right? It's all being exposed now. We're seeing it all. It's no longer hidden in the fucking shadows. So there we go, folks. Bureaucracy. That's your word of the day. Try and say that 5 times fast. All right, let's see. Let's scroll another Twitter or two here. Another tweet. Let's see another tweet. Let's see. What is this? Law aficionado. This is pure hyperbole, and you know it. Let me guess. Drama class was your. Okay. Oh, I'm still in the post. Let's get to another post. I'm fucking confused. Here we go. Let's find another one. How about this? Let's get a good one. It would be nice if Americans weren't forced to pay federal taxes this year, considering the amount of corruption that's been exposed by Doge. Right. We should fucking repost that. That's nice. So let me get this straight. I've been busting my ass my whole life trying to make ends meet, while the government steals my income and uses it to fund trans musicals in Ireland and sex changes in Guatemala. See what I'm saying? That's USAID getting exposed. So here's a comment to his. I have faithfully paid tax. Oh shit! It updated on me. I have faithfully paid taxes and filed returns for decades, and have been paying a CPA for the last 9 of my small businesses, completed by the second week of every February. The week Trump was inaugurated, I had all my little folders lined up on my kitchen table, documents scanned, and a PC file ready to go with all my numbers to send to the CPA. Let me just say, I feel like a complete jackass. Jackass as in the time I actually followed the damn arrows in the grocery store during COVID. It is horrible feeling after struggling to keep my head above water and doing everything I can to save this business, worrying how much I will owe in taxes this year. The files are still on the table, and my CPE emailed me to see if I was okay. I'm not okay with all of this. I'm holding out for now. See what I'm saying? That's what we all need to be doing. We're not paying taxes. We're not paying mortgages. We're not doing this. We're not paying for the fraudulent fucking shit that they've been doing behind our backs all this fucking time. When are we? That's what I've been saying. When are we going to be fucking outraged? When are you going to be outraged? And then how are you going to be outraged? What's your way? Because that's what most people say. I don't know what to do. I can't. What do we do? You crash the fucking system. You stop paying taxes. You stop paying for your mortgages. You stop paying rent. Fuck them all. They're all stealing from you. You know what I mean? That's what we got to get down to. That's the whole point of all this. We have to tear the fucking system down. You know what I mean? So, all right. That was an Intox rant. I get passionate, folks. I get passionate. But yeah, you know what I mean? Like, this is where we're at. This is what all this information has been about, to wake you up to the fact that you've been lied to. That's what it's about. You've been lied to. All right, let's get to another one here. That was some good news, right? And then it turned bad. Let's see. Cat turd. Dear liberals, after Elon Musk steals all the money from the treasury to build his evil lair in Mordor, he's going to send the Nazgul to hunt you down and suck you out your brains. It's on page 48 of Project 2025. They're just fucking, everybody's got jokes. It's crazy. Oh, let's see. Awakened Outlaw says, Trump hung Netanyahu out to dry tonight live on stage next to him. Played him like a stooge. Can we shut the fuck up about the nonsense now? Trump is the apex predator on the planet. Just let him hunt. Let's see what people are saying. The most powerful man in the world having his chair pushed in for him. I think that Netanyahu would love the idea of having a little Dubai built where Gaza is right now. Time to turn that scar of evil on the earth into something beautiful and prosperous. Yeah, we don't want wars. We don't want any of these wars. We never wanted any wars. Your average person never wanted any of this shit. You are still asleep, you fucking moron, these people. See, he's the king. He's always 2 steps ahead. Well, he's playing chess. He's definitely fucking playing chess. That's the other part, too, we got to remember, too, right? Because everybody's going to sit here and go, Trump and his tariffs, Canada and Mexico both caved, and then they, this and that or whatever, and now he's going to now he's not even going to do it because he's halting the tariffs. Well, you got to remember, some of this shit that he's doing is chess moves. I make a move, I see your reaction, I play it that, I get you to lean where I need you to go. He's kind of leading per se. Oh, getting some extra sounds from the computer. Sorry about that, folks. But yeah, so he's leaning them, he's leaning them into directions too. So you got to remember that, that some of this stuff is meant to sound out fucking rageous. And then what does it do? It makes the other side have to make a play. And when they make that play, it shows you the fucking corruption. He's dragging them out into the fucking open. He's dragging them out. And I'm not saying he's the greatest and he's our savior and he's everything, but guess what? In 2 weeks, he's fucking did a lot more than everybody else has. I'll tell you that right now. And that's the part we got to look at. He's not the savior. He's not going to save the world. He's not but he's making the changes so that and exposing the things that we need to see as we the people so that we can start to pay attention and make the changes we need to make so that the things go in the proper directions. We hold people accountable because that's the problem. We haven't been holding people accountable because when you align yourself with a group and you say, oh, I'm a Democrat or I'm a Republican or I'm conservative or I'm fucking liberal or whatever, when you start aligning yourself with the group, you only follow that group. And you stop following it all in general. And what you need to be doing is every time Trump does something good, you applaud it. Yeah, get rid of the IRS. We love it. Get rid of the Department of Education. We love it. Yes. Right? But when he fucks around and does dumb shit, we also got to call that out too because he still has a master, I'm sure. He's still playing a game of some sort, right? So when they do bad, and then I'm not saying just Trump, but all of our people up there, our senators, our Congress, or whatever, however it works, you got to do your research. You got to look it up. You got to see how the judicial system, the executive system, and the third one that I always forget, come together to create the whole system. You know what I mean? And once we see that, we hold everybody accountable. Everybody should be doing good things. And when they make mistakes, they should be able to fix those mistakes. Some people are going to make mistakes, but here's the thing. They're not making any mistakes, folks. They're being lobbied. They're being paid off. That's what all this was about. It's what our government's been since the fucking 60s. Since the whole, what they call it, military-industrial complex took over. Ever since that happened, every politician has been bought or sold in certain ways and put together, and that's how it works. That's how all this shit comes together. That's what we've been trying to tell everybody. Corruption runs rampant. It's way deeper than we fucking realized. It's way more intricate than we ever realized, but we knew this shit was happening. And we're just trying to call it out. But the thing is nobody wanted to listen, and nobody had enough power to listen until now. Until we have podcasts, until we have things like this, until people can talk and have conversations and go, wait a minute, what's going on over here? Because that looks fucking weird and shady to me. You know what I mean? So that's what we're doing. We're poking it out and we're saying, look, they're actually pulling the evidence, because that's what most people would say. Growing up, I remember that. Even my parents and stuff would say sometimes, they go, yeah, well, hopefully one day we'll know, but we probably never will. Because that's how much they knew that their own government was hiding shit from them. We'll just never know. Ever since JFK, when they didn't give us the fucking real story, Everybody ever since then's been like, wait a minute, there's a story they're not fucking telling us. And that's been the story of our government every fucking since. But not anymore. They fucking showed up and they said, show me the books. You're getting audited. Let's see what you're doing. And then motherfuckers are going, yo, what are you doing over there? And they're like, who? Who, me? Oh, nothing.
What are you doing?
Nothing. Me?
Oh, nothing.
Just hanging around.
And so, yeah, now it's being exposed. We're seeing behind the curtains. We've made it to the land of Oz, and we've pulled the curtain back on Oz, and we're going, what the fuck's happening? That's what's happening right now. Everything, every movie you've ever seen where they've toppled the government, where they've taken it down from the inside, where they've had, intricate fucking plans to do all these things, it's fucking going down right now. We're fucking experiencing it. That's the cool part. We're living through. We get to see it after, when I was a kid, my own parents talking about maybe we'll just never know. We probably never will. That's what they would say. We probably never will. It's fucking happening now. You see it going down now. You know what I mean? Motherfuckers are out here exposing people. So they've exposed our spending, and how they've been siphoning our fucking money away from us. And then it's exposing the trafficking, the operations, the child stuff. They're finding all these things are connected in one way or another. It's all connected, and that's what we're starting to figure out too. So that's the part nobody expected. That's the part everybody wants to call them normies or whatever. People who are asleep, whatever they want to call them, right? Those people never expected that they were getting their money stolen and there was real human trafficking happening in today's world. Nobody's expecting that, but that's what the fuck is going on. The slave trade never stopped. It just went underground. Literally. Crazy. And that's the thing. You got to think about that in every form, every fashion, right? Everything you think of. When it comes down to history and you look at these histories and you go, you got to remember they talk about the Mayans and the Aztecs sacrificing people to the gods. You think that stopped? It didn't stop. It just went underground. You just stopped seeing it in the public. But nowadays when you watch Super Bowl commercials or Super Bowls, and they have their fucking halftime shows, there's a lot of satanic shit going on in those motherfuckers lately. You know what I mean? Over the past few years, we've seen some weird fucking shit. So you see how it's not underground anymore. They're showing it to you. It's in your face. It's just the thing is it's so foreign to you because you know nothing about it. That's why you have people like Awkward Intelligence and all these other people online who are out here decoding this shit and saying, look at these symbols. Look at this thing. Look at the way they're doing this. Look at the way this is going on. Look at this TV stuff. Why are they mocking God? You know what I mean? And it's crazy because it's like, if you don't believe in God or you don't believe in a source or you don't believe in something, right? Why are they going against it so hard? Why is there always people pushing against it? But the thing is most people out here are good people following, trying to do good things. They're not out here fucked up. It's just you know what I mean? Yes, you have your areas. You have your, you know what I mean? You have your places where shit's fucked up, But it's not as prevalent around the United States as a whole as we would think it is. Most people are just decent people trying to survive, trying to have a good time, trying to get that drink after 5, trying to get that happy hour drink. You know what I mean? Just trying to hang out with their friends, trying to find someone to share some time with, a significant other, a partner, a wife, a husband, whatever. People are just out here just doing normal shit, adventures, making music, just being themselves, playing instruments. And that's it. That's what most people are just trying to do. We're not out here trying to fucking hurt nobody. We're not out here trying to take from people. We're not. But the news and the fucking shit would have you thinking everybody out here is out to fucking get you. That's what they want you to fucking think. So that you're just stuck in this fucking survival mode. You have no fucking idea of what's happening in the world. And they can just keep stealing from you because you're distracted. That's where we've been at. And we've been talking about how that shit is over. It's over. It's been over. You know, they had to play this fucking fake administration in front of you because they had shit going on in the background that they had to take care of that couldn't be. You got to remember this. They didn't want to put it on somebody who didn't deserve it. Think about that. Look at the people who were in that administration. Those are the people who are going to get credit for all this evil shit. You know what I mean? And they'll be exposed. The names are coming. You know what I mean? They're dropping lists. Shit's happening. But they're going to expose these people. And they're going to get blamed for all this shit. And like I said, I'm not saying that Trump and his administration are fucking clean. They've got all kinds of shit going on too. They're just a fucking different mafia boss. You know, different mafia organization. But somebody's got to expose it. Somebody's got to put it out there. And who else better than the people who are already there? They're exposing it now. You know? And, you know, we have to trust in that it's happening. We're seeing it. You know, and hopefully, not hopefully, we know for sure it's a flood. This is the flood. This is the flood that, you know what I mean? When they talked about an apocalypse is just knowledge. It's a flood of knowledge. And that's what we're getting right now. We're getting a flood of knowledge. But they tried to distract you and say it was going to be devastation. They tried to distract you and lie to you and try to tell you that people were going to disappear at a rapture and all these different things. Well, they disappeared all right. But it was the evilness, the demons. Those people are vanishing. Those people are gone. Those people are disappearing. So it's not the 144. You know what I mean? And these little games they played in order to make everybody fucking fight amongst each other and not realize how fucking powerful you were individually and all that. But as a collective, even more powerful. You know? So yeah, it's a crazy, crazy world out there, and it's getting exposed, and we're seeing it, and we're figuring it out, and that's what I'm here for. It. Are you here for it? But another thing that some of the viewers have mentioned is that I talk about Intel channels. Sometimes I go, yeah, I got that from the Intel channels or whatever. And to them, it makes it sound so secretive and, you know, and they're not a part of it and makes me sound like I've got some special powers or something. I'm getting stuff from some special places. Well, that's how everybody fucking sounds. If you're in the truther community, they all have information they're getting from different places. Some people have insiders. Some people have, snitching. You know, people are whistleblowers. You know what I mean? And different things. It's like they're getting information from different places, from different things. That's where it all originates from. Whistleblowers, for the most part. People in these industries who are then talking to people and giving them information. You know. And then as they disseminate it down, it ends up in my fucking hands, and I fucking put it in my brain, and then I spew it back at you guys. You know, it all just comes down the channels. Because I'm not saying I talk to anybody specifically anywhere that is a fucking true insider or whatever. I don't know anything about that. But what I do know is on Telegram, I found a bunch of channels that correspond to different podcasts and things that I'm watching. Some of them have channels, but some of them, it's not just them; it's other things. But they have these channels on these on an app called Telegram. You can get it on your phone, And you find these people, and it's like they're called like Patriot Alliance, Galactic Federation, Super Truthers. Some of them are names, some of them have actual real accounts, like a X, like an X account with a check mark or whatever. You can do all that on here, and you can be official, or you can just be anonymous. Telegram was kind of supposed to be just anonymous, but you follow some of these people, and they drop clues, and they tell you, check out this, look at this, so that you can, the clue then gives you information to where it locks you in and go, oh, okay, that was true. He said this was true because this is what they said. Kind of like, how people say, oh, they're just prophesizing. Well, no, sometimes they're telling us this is going to happen on this date, or at this time this is going to happen, or these people are going to do this. And then we watch, and all of a sudden something happens, and we go, that's exactly what so-and-so said was going to happen. But they didn't say it in a matter-of-fact way of, they're going to do this because I know. It's like, use that information, and I'm going to give you another piece of it. So then what will happen is, you'll see these people do the scenario, and then, it's not 100% like they said, but it's very similar, right? And then what they'll do is they'll come back on their Telegram channel and go, now that situation is handled, they give you another piece of it and say, oh, so-and-so was also there. You didn't see that person though, and these things got handled and this happened, right? And then you'll go, okay, so you add to that scenario. Then down the line, as more information leaks out, you find out, oh, that person was there, but they weren't, but they were there kind of secretly or whatever. And so then you're able to use that information and go, okay, this person's got good information. Not saying it's 100% true, but it's good information. It's not a bunch of bullshit stuff. So then you're able to take their information from one person and you take it through 10, 15, 20 other people that you have in Telegram that are totally different people, totally different scenarios, and they'll have different information about different things. And as you put it all together, you start to puzzle it. And next thing you know, you go, oh, this person has this information. Okay. And then this person down here has this information. And then I put this together with this. Next thing you know, you have a small picture and you go, now I see what's happening. That's how you come up with, government corruption. Is people are putting information out there and you're studying, you're looking, and you're checking on the websites, and you're reviewing the .orgs and the fucking .govs, and you're looking at different shit. And next thing you know, you're piecing something together. And you're going, okay, I got a little bit of a picture of something. It's research, folks. That's all you're doing. But it's using Telegram to get that information so you can kind of know where to go and what to look for and why things are happening the way they're happening. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to explain per se because I just do it and I don't know where that came from. I just started doing it. I watched how other people were decoding things and looking at different things, and I just started doing it. And so I wanted to look at some of this in here too. Let's see what we got. Get out of here with that bullshit. All right, let's see if we can find some good information here on somebody's channel. So this one is the King Sananda Galactic channel. Okay, how do we fucking turn that off? Mute notifications. For now. You son of a bitch. Oh, that's for the channel. Okay, no, I gotta go into settings. Okay. We're just going to turn that off for now because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I don't know where that keeps coming from. But I wanted to play some stuff. All right, we'll just see if there's anything to play. Let's see here. Wait, let me go to something. See, like, okay. So Telegram, when you have, let's see. Trying to think of, okay, so I have one called Conservative Nation, right, on Telegram. And it's just headlines. And so you can just check the headline and then you got to go do the research. So here's the headline. Breaking. Barack Obama and Michelle Obama's largest donors have abandoned them mid rumors that the couple's marriage is over. We don't know. We'll see. We don't know, right? It's just a fucking headline. Breaking. Argentina will follow the United States lead and withdraw from the World Health Organization. Okay? Breaking. USAID has allocated $8.2 million in funding to political since 2019, according to USA Spending. Okay? Got to look into that, but got a headline. Breaking. Russia has rejected U.S. President Donald Trump's proposal to take over the Gaza Strip and resettle Palestinians. Rejected. Let's see what happens with that, right? Maybe the proposal, like we talked about earlier, was to throw something out there that sounded ridiculous and have them reel it in for you. You know, we don't know. We'll have to see how that develops. Breaking. Senator Mitch McConnell has reportedly fallen down the stairs once again while leaving the Senate today. Clones are malfunctioning. U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi has ordered the DOJ to halt all federal funding for sanctuary cities immediately upon taking office. Breaking. Doge now has access to NOAA's IT systems and is reviewing its DEI program. All right, and last two. And then over time, as they update it, more will show up. Breaking. Japan Airlines plane collides with Park Delta Airlines aircraft at Seattle Airport. Now look, this is in Seattle. I have people that live in Seattle. I can check on this and see if this is news in you know what I mean, or whatever. So it's something I can look into. I have people that I can look into. Breaking. Russia declares its readiness for a very serious conversation about achieving a peaceful resolution to the conflict in Ukraine. They're ready to talk. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. But yeah, so there's one like that where I just get some information. And somebody's calling me. All right. So let's get back into it. So then here's one, Benjamin Fulford. Let's see what he's got. It says, a light shines over the nation. The privately owned U.S. Federal Reserve and IRS are dead. British Crown maritime law is no more. The U.S. is transitioning to common law. Freedom reigns. To my friends who are upset about Trump closing USAID, call somebody who cares. You better get used to this. It's USAID today. It's going to be Department of Education tomorrow. It's a war between good and evil. Prepare. Just some information to look at. You got to put it together. You got to look into all that stuff and see if any of that makes sense to you. You know, but you look at stuff like that and you go, okay, IRS is dead, right? We know all this stuff's really been closed a while back. We're just being told about it now. That's really what this is about. All of this is the reveal, folks. These are all the things that have already happened. Now this is the reveal. So then you got, let's see, it's not all just political news. You got somebody like Alexander Quinn. He likes to leave little information about, let's see, about the ascension process and how our bodies are changing and things like that. So he says, Dear all, I would like to provide a brief update regarding recent events that I believe are worth noting moving forward. On the 30th of last month, we experienced an intense surge of energy, followed by several days of heightened turbulence. The human body is still likely in the process of recalibrating as a result of these occurrences, and it is likely that the recent energetic upgrade will take a few more days to fully stabilize. The priority is restorative foods and anti-inflammatory properties to support the body's well-being through this process. Ascension energies interfacing with physical blocks or resistance can create inflammatory responses from the body. Sending you all much love. So that's when I come on here. I read stuff like this from not just him, but Consciously Aaron and a couple different people that I follow with that about ascension energies and things like that. And then I come on here and tell y'all, oh, y'all having some stomach issues today. Is anybody getting, have rashes that are unexplainable? Is anybody itching in places where it's just not normal usually? All those different things. You've got, like I said, sometimes you've got the sniffles, a little bit of congestion in the third eye. You know what I mean? All that stuff's clearing out, and so I would get information from his channel, Alexander Quinn's channel. He'll put some information out about different things that are happening with the energies on the planet. You take that along with others that I watch, 2 or 3 other people that I kind of put together, and I get the information, And then I put some information together that I can come back and spew back to you guys and put my own spin on it, Plus, and then sometimes I just get like headlines of like crypto stuff sometimes. You just get headlines. So then it'll say, XRP, the crypto that could shake the future. What's next for Ripple? Ripple's XRP ledger restored after hours of technical glitch. Ripple CTO explains XRP ledger. So, how, like I said, I'm big on XRP. I'm big on XLM. I think those are going to do something in the future, along with plenty of others. You just got to go out there and do the research, and you got to look into it. Ask the questions. Leave it in the comments. If y'all have a question about something, if I know something, I'll let you know. If I don't, I'll tell you you got to do your own research. But then you have, like I said, information that comes up. Let's see. FBI documents confirm Michelle Obama is a biological man. A lot of that stuff's in here. Who knows if that's true? We don't know. All right, let's check this out. Let's see what this lady has to say. Oh, it's not going to play? Oh, that's a Facebook. It's a Facebook thing. Okay. I thought that was going to play. Hey, America, did you know the U.S. government gives $4 billion a year to Israel? That's $10.5 million per day. Somebody got some explaining to do. Let's see. Let's see here. It says they were given the choices and now it's time to make them. I'm sure it's extremely embarrassing to shit yourself in front of everyone. The funny part is they all know who's doing it because I'm literally the one who's talking about evaporating people, places, and things openly. So, yeah. See, so we're going to start seeing evaporations and different things come into play in the light at this point. A lot of that stuff was being done in the background. A lot of these things, operations are being in the background, but we're starting to see it come through, and we're starting to see some of that war come through. The actual physical war part that's going on that we're not privy to. And that's why we're having some of these plane issues. These planes and things, like the one in Philly, the one that y'all saw in Philly a couple of days ago. I don't think that was a plane that hit the ground. If you watch those videos, that plane came in soaring. That was a fucking missile if I've ever seen one. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Look into it. But yeah, so you just got people just throwing information out there based on, information. So Ghost Ezra. From the Vatican, there's a tunnel that runs to Jerusalem. The length is about 1,500 miles and cuts through both land and water. From the Vatican, the first 150 miles, they found a huge amount of gold stacked 13 levels high. 655 planes of gold were brought back to Fort Knox. Yeah. So when they in 1913, when the Federal Reserve was created, they took our gold and they took it to the Vatican. That's where our gold was gone. Or actually it was probably later than that. It was later than that. Because 1913, they created the Federal Reserve. And then I think it was in 41 when we went off the gold standard. Let's see. I think we went. Let's see. When did the U.S. go off the gold standard? In 1933. 1933. So in 1933, under President Roosevelt, ended the internationally. So it says the U.S. came off the gold standard for domestic transactions in 1933 under President Franklin Roosevelt and ended international convertibility of the dollar to gold in 71 under Richard Nixon. Effectively ending the gold standard in the U.S., the U.S. switched to a fiat money system. There it is, right there. They fucking say it right in your fucking face, and you don't fucking see it. The switch to a fiat money system, a fucking fake money system. But anyways, what I was saying was, so that when they, like we've known that for a while, that they've brought the gold back, and so. That's how you know that everything is changing, because they've confiscated these things. The Vatican's closed down. All the shit you see on TV, that's all fake bullshit. That's fucking probably done in a fucking CGI lab or whatever, AI and shit. The Pope you see is probably a fucking clone or a robot or something. It's not even real anymore. All of this stuff we're seeing is a bunch of, that's why they call it a movie. That's why we keep saying that. It's a fucking movie. We're just watching certain things play out, so that they could distract us through that while the rest of this stuff in the background was taking place, and we're not seeing it. We're not being disrupted as much as we probably should have. It's probably, when we're in that old timeline was going to take us into some very crazy shit. I talked about it last time with the FEMA coffins and stuff, and the jabs and the FEMA camps. It was going to take us into some dark shit. We didn't get there. We jumped that timeline. We're still jumping timelines. Right? We're still jumping timelines, and we're going to get out there, and we're going to figure this shit out. We're going to do this shit. You know what I mean? It's already been won. That's the thing. It's now being revealed for the people that needed to see it. The rest of us just have faith. Where's your faith, folks? Where'd your faith go? Yeah, you know what I mean? Because they beat it out of us. They didn't want you to believe in shit. Because then you're exposed. You feel like if something doesn't go right or doesn't go the way you think, that's how they distracted us. When they created all these different fake plots and fake things, we believed in that shit. We thought that's the way it really was going to be, but it's all happening differently because we're in modern times. So you got to take those ideas from the Bible and those ideas from ancient texts and flip them into modern times. It's happening now, again, over again. That's why we've done this already. We did all that shit back then. We're doing it again now, but we're doing it in modern ways. That's the difference. That's why I said the flood's happening again, but it's happening in information, not in water. All right, let's see what else we got. Let's see. Let's get a couple more. Let's see here. Mr. Tracy channel. He's usually got some decent information. Let's see. U.S. Sovereign Wealth Fund. We're going to monetize the asset side of the U.S. balance sheet for the American people. There'll be a combination of liquid assets that we have in this country. Scott Bessent, U.S. Treasury Secretary, liquid assets. Now change out monetization for tokenization, and it makes much more sense. Remember, our debts are being actively tokenized. Understand that how you will. Let's see. Oh, here's a video. Let's see if we can get this going.
Continue to be on our hearts, and the president and this administration
Pam Bondi,
to ensuring that these individuals get the funding that they need. And I would just say a strong message to Democrats who are out there pretending to be outraged about the long list of crap that this administration is cutting, federal waste and funding, like $2 million for sex changes in Guatemala, $6 million to fund tourism in Egypt, $20 million on a new Sesame Street show in Iraq, $4.5 million to combat disinformation in Kazakhstan. I could go on, and I'm happy to provide this list to every single one of you. Democrats are outraged that the American people want to be, they want their taxpayers going to good uses,
right,
not stuff like this. But then they're very quiet about the fact that there are still North Carolinians and people in California who have lost everything. And in the last 4 years, this federal government did nothing to help them.
Did nothing.
This president will continue to put Americans first. And I think the successes of this week so far speak to that. And it's only Wednesday. So I'll see you guys later this week, and we'll see you.
And it's only Wednesday. Yep. So, yeah, you know what I mean? And so they just put that together. I mean, that's just normal information. You can get that anywhere. But this just gives you the clips sometimes of the different things that were going on in the day. And then you got to go back and watch the different things. Or you can go find reactions, people online who talk about reactions and things, and just get more information. Because there's some people out there that are actually explaining these things. It's not just we heard that, we understand it, we get it. Because some of us don't get it. So you have to take that information and then explain it out and go, this is what's happening, you know. And not saying that was a hard, tough one or anything like that, but you know what I mean? But that's the idea, is you get this information and then these little clips, and then you got to start to decipher it and figure out, what does this mean? What does it mean for us? What does it mean for them? What does it mean for the country? What does it mean? You know, does this sound legit? You know, all that kind of stuff. So I'm just giving you some insight. This is not a class by any means. I had no real, you know, put no real thing together or anything. I'm just out here winging it, folks. But I just wanted to show y'all and talk to y'all through X and through Telegram and through YouTube and through podcasts and through all these different things. I gather all this information and then I'm able to bring it and throw it back at the camera and talk to the Awkward Intelligence community. And thank you for being here for 113 episodes. But, you know, today, once again, we couldn't have BDot to grace us with his presence, you know, for whatever reasons. And everything's fine. Nothing's going on. Nothing crazy's going on. Just life happens sometimes. Sometimes it doesn't work out the way you plan it. And so I'm here one more again, talking to you. Talking to the people, right? Like last week. Let's call this Talking to the People too. No, I'm just kidding. We'll do something more creative than that. But yeah, so, you know, I just want to thank everybody again for hanging out. And we got through another one. And hope you had get a little bit of insight on where and how the information is flying along, coming together. And, you know, and maybe, like I said, you'll start your own journey and start figuring out what you're going to do if this is for you, if this is something you're interested in, finding out information and figuring it out. You know, it's just something I'm interested in. I like knowledge. I like information. I like things that are real, you know. That's why I always read nonfiction books my whole life. I rarely, you know, on autobiographies and different things like that, because I rarely read, you know, like fucking Nancy Drew or some bullshit, you know what I mean? Like something along those lines, just, or whatever, you know, whatever stuff. But the thing is how do we know that those adventures aren't real or more real than some of the other shit that they've lied to us about, right? You know, because we know that movies are fucking telling us the truth and the fucking news is lying to us. So maybe fucking a lot of our books, the adventures that were in our books are real too. I don't know. It's possible. It's possible. But yeah. And here's the thing too. I thought about this when we started today's show. Was, remember a couple shows ago when I said I quit the rants? That was 2024. Now into 2025, we're going to find something new to do, something different. I didn't know this was going to be it, but look how different this shit is. And I don't know if you like more stuff like this, fucking leave it in the comments. Let us know if there's more content like this that you want, because then we can tailor the show a little more. So we're not up here just talking and yapping all the time, but maybe we're sharing more information. Maybe that's what y'all want, you know, more information live per se, instead of just, you know, commenting and saying, go look for it. I don't know. Let me know. We're evolving. It's 2025. If you're not evolving yet, what the fuck are you up to? So, Awkward Intelligence. I'm Intox. I'll catch you on the next one.
Awkward Intelligence. Just smoking vibe. This is Awkward Intelligence. Just smoking vibe. Awkward Intelligence.